Good evening, everyone. Welcome. A pleasant evening with some light rain, making things a bit more atmospheric. Good to get some rain for the clean the air, gardens, the plants, animals and insects. So winter rain's always appreciated. This evening, apologies from Justin and Kirsten. They've got things happening, and also from Sally and Bill. And there may be others that might still arrive or not. Certainly we can begin with our meditation. So having established our comfortable sitting position, aligning our body with some degree of symmetry, balance, poise. Our eyes gently closed, helping to bring awareness within. Having our initial deep, relaxing, letting go breath. Using that outgoing breath to carry away any stresses, issues, concerns, roles and responsibilities. Letting go the ways of the world. Allowing the possibility of enabling some calm, clarity, peace and presence. Our mini retreat, retreating from the world and moving to the world within. The world of calm, clarity, ease, joy, well-being. And before bringing mindful attention to our reference point for the present, the breath, just feeling into the body, sensing, feeling the body sitting. Feeling grounded, settled, centered, present. Noticing some contact sensations, maybe feeling the feet connecting with the floor. Feeling our body connecting with the cushion, the chair, the meditation stool. Awareness of the placement of our hands and fingers, making sure they feel comfortable, adjusting them if we need to. And feeling the contact of hands and fingers. Bringing awareness up to our face. Noticing our face, even feeling maybe the air against our face. Noticing some degree of light coming in through the closed eyelids. A lightness, brightness, color, patterning, or just a blankness, and even looking into that, a forward focused gaze into that lightness, brightness, blankness. And not being distracted or disturbed by any background sounds. And particularly not getting caught into the internal sight or sound of thoughts. Giving the mind permission to not have to engage into the activity of thinking, but rather allowing the mind to rest in awareness by simply noticing each inflow, outflow of the breath, the naturally occurring breath. As we feel it, maybe at the nose, nostril area, Directing attention to that point of sensation, receiving the in-breath, letting that go to become the out-breath, developing this calm focus, leading to calm collectedness and calm concentration. Feeling and knowing each breath, developing peace and presence. Please help yourself to some tea and biscuits. Bob, can I get you to turn the lights on? The corner there, I think it's the top left, please. Thanks. Brendan, can I get you to give those out?
Thank you.
So these are chanting books from Wat Buddha Dharma, Buddhist monastery down in Sydney. And as it says in the front, mostly translated and compiled by Venerable Kanti Paulo Tera. So he was my first teacher when I ordained as a Samanera, a novice monk in Sydney. And Kanti Paulo was an English Buddhist monk and spent some years in India and then Sri Lanka and then Thailand, quite a number of years in Thailand. And then was invited to come to Australia, and he spent some time at the Thai Buddhist temple, Wat Buddharang Zi in Sydney, and then with a growing interest in Buddhism from not just, say, Thai Asian people, but Westerners. They had established a forest monastery, which also functioned as a retreat center. And so a great place which has been functioning well ever since. So that these books come from there. So that when we're finished with them tonight, just maybe leave them on the seat so I can collect them for next time. But we'll be looking at actually page 45. But before we look into that, as mentioned last week, spending 4 weeks looking into the 4 Brahma Vihara. So just as a bit of a recap, Brahma meaning spiritual, divine, Vihara meaning abode or abiding from. So Brahma Vihara, abiding in, abiding from these spiritual qualities, 4 spiritual qualities in particular. And the Buddha spoke about these as being quite significant, important for generating, cultivating, and radiating out from ourselves, and appreciating the importance and quality of connection, conscious connection with others, conscious relationship. Ideally that we're relating through these four qualities, metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha, and that in a way one could nearly get by with just using these four, because they cover most situations. So metta, translating as loving kindness, friendliness. The word metta relates to the word mitra or mitri, which means friendliness. So friendliness, a kindness, a care. And then the second one, a specialized form of kindness, is a kindness of concern. So karuna, second one translates as compassion. And then the third one, mudita, is more of a kindness with joy. So a joy in the good fortune, the happiness of others. And then the last one, upekkha, translates as equanimity, but like a calm kindness, a calm composure, which we can particularly deal with in dealing with the realities, the challenges of life. So rather than getting caught up in distress and overwhelmed, being able to have that calm composure. So these are really important qualities on the path of spiritual practice, because the opposite of these is what causes distress, reactivity, disconnection, disharmony, and certainly affects the quality of our mind, which then affects our ability for developing and deepening the mind through meditation. So these are an important quality for enabling within ourselves and radiating out to others. Particularly the first one, metta, kindness, caring kindness, loving kindness. It's like the foundation, the modus operandi, the way of generally being, and it covers most situations. It's the others are more specific situations, but most situations, just having that kindness, that care as we relate and engage, interface into life, which also includes towards ourselves as well. The intrapersonal relationship with ourselves, not just the inter with others. And of metta, there's an appreciation that metta really helps to strengthen our own mind-body energy. And because it's not getting caught up wasting energy in resentment or anger or frustration, disappointment, then it's conserving and preserving energy, and also enables and enhances our psycho-spiritual immune system and even the physical immune system as well. So we're more likely to be immune, not just to other people's anger and distress, resentment and so forth, because we have this radiance of loving kindness and ease and care for others, but also the immune system, the physical immune system, is less likely to be run down, worn out, which often comes with anger and distress and confusion, that then causes the potential for illness, external elements of illness, viruses, bacteria, and so forth, poisons even, and also particularly internal factors of illness like cells that are not right, that then can develop as cancer and tumors and so forth. So it's a really, really important quality. Yes, it's a mental, psychological, spiritual quality, but it translates into the physiology, the functioning, the well-being of our physical life as well as often into the interpersonal interactions with others. The world would be so much of a much better, pleasant, peaceful, joyful place to live in if there were more people that took regular doses of metta, of kindness, of friendliness. And so many situations in life that happen if we just bring forth some kindness, some care, some friendliness, they would dissolve a lot of unease and distress. So again, the world would be a better place if we all had more of this. And the thing is that it's like stress, it can also be contagious. So that when people are smiling and friendly, joyous and happy and caring for others, then it often comes back. So it's like interfacing and being with others, seeing and treating others, thinking about others, feeling towards others as we would like them to even see, feel, be, relate to us as well. Just like we're modeling to others how they may also relate back to us, then that creates a synergy. Urgy, energy, sin, same, synonymous. So that same energy is able to resonate and vibe together. A little bit like having two tuning forks used to tune a musical instrument. You tap one and put it down maybe on a table, holding up. It's vibrating with that sound. The other one that hasn't been tapped will start to vibrate as well because the other one's vibrating. Even if it hasn't been tapped, it'll start to resonate and vibrate as well. So that's the quality of metta enables that as well. The Buddha prescribed metta as a balm, a healing balm, a psychological balm for protecting ourselves in many ways, and particularly for reducing fear, reducing anxiety, reducing distress, and particularly as a way of both guarding and protecting from others that may want to harm one. There's many occasions in the suttas, the discourses of the Buddha, where the Buddha's recounting things and situations where either a wild animal came to harm him or a person with ill intent, and the Buddha radiated this kindness, this metta, and the person changed their ways, felt this radiance of warmth and kindness and care, and changed their malicious intent. Or an animal that was going to attack the Buddha sort of became calm and composed, maybe even sat down, laid down in front of him. So it has that power. And also it's said that it does also affect beings that are not of this worldly plane, other planes, the sort of celestial, angelic, heavenly realms as well. And I'll read out a list in a minute of the 11 benefits that come from practicing kindness, metta. That includes having connections and being surrounded by beings on different realms, pleasant, angelic, celestial beings. So one doesn't need to, let's say, be a Christian to feel there's angels that might be around sort of in one's space or in one's place or even protecting one. Certainly part of cosmology, Buddhist cosmology, and various traditions, spiritual traditions, religions have the concept of beings on different realms. Just they don't have one of these gross, heavy body vehicles that has to sort of have its feet on the ground, but they have an energy that's more higher frequency. Something like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth is moving across. That's how they operate, that high frequency energy. But the sutta, the discourse that I wanted to share with you this evening, which is one of the probably most well-known suttas, discourses of the Buddha in the context of popular awareness, because it's chanted not just by monastics, by lay people as well. It's something which often people chant on a regular basis because it's has meaning, brings joy in terms of just the chanting of it. So it has a healing balm in the relating the chanting or the remembering of it, and also there's an empowerment in it. So it strengthens self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, a sense of being able to go out, connect with others. So it has a great psychological benefit just in the reciting of this particular discourse, and also if it's printed up on a wall, some really good profound teachings in it that go through not just from how to relate and be with others, but right through to full enlightenment. It's a little bit like the verse, the Desiderata. Anyone aware of the Desiderata? So there's this sort of wise sort of verse or stanzas of how to be and how to live and how to connect with others. So the verses on loving kindness are very much like that. And again, by even meditating upon them and taking them to heart, they become part of one's way of being, relating, interfacing with experience. The story goes that the Buddha had asked a group of monks to go and spend time in a forest on retreat. The monks were a little bit sort of uneasy about this because they'd heard that the forest was haunted, had nature spirits and other beings there. They sort of felt uneasy about going to go there, but they went because the Buddha had asked them to. And in this particular forest grove, they did feel a bit uneasy. They felt sort of a bit haunted in their meditation, uncomfortable, unsettled, to the point where they felt that they couldn't be there. And so they went back to the Buddha and said, "I'm sorry, we can't be there. There's I think the animals, the insects, the spirit beings don't want us in the forest." And so the Buddha said to them, "Go back to the forest. You need to be there. But before you go, here is a teaching, the verse of on loving kindness, the Karaniya Metta Sutta. I will recite this, remember what I'm reciting, and go back to the forest and recite and remember and engage and feel and radiate what this teaching is to others around." So they did that, and the beings there felt a joy, a sense of ease and compassion, kindness, care from the monks, and therefore those beings were therefore more accepting and happy for the monks to be there, and they all enjoyed a retreat period together, and it all worked out quite well. So we'll go through the verses of kindness, friendliness. So it's on page 45 over to 46, and we won't chant it in Pali. Some of you have heard me chant that in Pali before, but we will chant it. So not just reciting, but sort of like a chanting the words, and I'll just chant the first line so you get a sense of how it goes. What should be done by one who's skilled in wholesomeness? Next line. To gain the state of peacefulness is this. So it has a little bit of meter or tempo to it. So I'm not just reading out the words as we usually might read them out. And so the chanted line is line by line. We don't tend to break it up within the line. So I'll start it, we can all just join in. What should be done by one who's skilled in wholesomeness to gain the state of peacefulness is this. One must be able, upright, straight, and not proud, easy to speak to, mild and well content, easily satisfied and not caught up in too much bustle, and frugal in one's ways, with senses calmed, intelligent, not bold, not being covetous when with other folk, not even doing little things that other wise ones blame, and this the thought that one should always hold. May beings all live happily and safe, and may their hearts rejoice within themselves, whatever there may be with breath of life, whether they be frail or very strong, without exception, be they long or short, or middle-sized, or be they big or small, or thick or visible or invisible, or whether they dwell far or they dwell near, those that are here, those seeking to exist, May beings all rejoice within themselves. Let no one bring about another's ruin, and not despise in any way or place. Let them not wish each other any ill, from provocation or from enmity. Just as a mother at the risk of life loves and protects her child, her only child, so one should cultivate this boundless love to all that live in the whole universe, extending from a consciousness sublime, upwards and downwards and across the world, untroubled, free from hate and enmity. And while one stands and while one walks and sits, or one lies down still free from drowsiness, one should be intent on this mindfulness. This is divine abiding, here they say. But when one lives quite free from any view, is virtuous with perfect insight won, and greed for sensual desires expelled, one surely comes no more to any womb. Good. So again, it's a verse about developing this wholesomeness, state of peacefulness, how to be in terms of being able, upright, straight, not proud, easy to speak to, mild and well content, easily satisfied, and not caught up in too much hustle and bustle and busyness. And then sort of the sense of, without exception, extending this kindness to all beings, even to beings at a distance, those that are visible, even not visible, invisible, and wishing them that they all rejoice within themselves, wishing that no harm comes to other beings. And then also that sense of a mother, the power of the love that a mother has for her child. And even it was like the only child, the power of love that a mother has for its only child, the quality of that love, to cultivate that boundless love, we ourselves to all that live in the whole universe. So extending from a consciousness sublime, so in all directions, upwards, downwards, across the world, untroubled, free from hate and enmity, so that then when one's standing or walking or sitting or lying down, still free from drowsiness, to be intent on this quality of kindness, care, mindfulness. And as they've got here, this is divine abiding, here they say. And particularly when one lives quite free from any view, any negative view, any wrong view, to having right view, is virtuous, so with morality and with perfect insight one, so great clarity, understanding, insight, vipassana, and greed for sense desires are completely gone. Then being enlightened, one does not come or is born again to any womb in any existence. So this quality extends right through until full, complete spiritual enlightenment. Just to note as well, the 11 benefits that come from practicing metta, kindness, friendliness. So that these come, they're mentioned certainly in the Visuddhimagga, and also I think they're probably in the Abhidhamma as well. These are those particular books of teaching. So the 11 benefits of metta, number 1 is falling to sleep easily. Even that's important. Waking from sleep easily, to not waking up distressed and concerned or anxious. And also while asleep, number 3, sleeping well with only pleasant dreams, no nightmares and unsettled dreams. Number 4 is affection and care from others. So people will naturally radiate and connect to you because you feel you have that sort of warmth and kindness. Number 5 is affection from devas, which is celestial beings, and also animals, a bit like St. Francis, so that animals like to sort of come around people that have that kindness and care and friendliness. And then it says also protection from the devas, so that celestial beings will look out for you and protect you, guard you. Number 7 is protection from external dangers and weapons, fire, poisons, and just by the fact that one's living in a wholesome way, a wholesome mind, not getting caught up with people that maybe dealing with, or weapons, fires and poison and so forth, things that are of destruction. Number 8, this is an important one, a radiant face. So a joyous, radiant face. Number 9, probably even more important, a serene mind. And number 10, an unconfused death. So at the time of death, the mind is calm and clear and easeful. So an unconfused death. And number 11, rebirth in a happy realm, which might be getting born back in the Tweed Valley. For some people, it might be getting reborn in Bali. For others, maybe in a celestial realm somewhere, wherever you feel a happy realm is. So these are things to motivate one to practice and cultivate this quality of kindness, care, friendliness towards oneself. It's no use being sort of happy and caring and kind towards others if one sort of doesn't feel happy with oneself. So flowing on out from our own heart to all others. Also, just I've got noted in my notes here that the near enemy of metta, often spoken about the near enemy and far enemy. The near enemy is that which is close to the quality of metta or kindness, even sort of disguises maybe as it, and that near enemy is attachment or desire. I think, I love you, I care about you, but there's attachment and desire there, which can then go into anger if one's desires or attachments aren't fulfilled. And the far enemy, which is easy to see your far enemy, sort of see them away, but when they're close, you can't see them. The far enemy is anger and hatred, so sort of the opposite of kindness. So in the last few minutes, any questions or comments around this important quality of heart, metta, friendliness, kindness, care? Brendan?
Yeah, just thinking about that near and far. I hadn't kind of contemplated that before, but I guess that attachment, that nearness, I guess that could lead to jealousy, which then leads to anger and hatred. It can be a progressive thing that takes you from that near enemy all the way to the
for sure. It's can be more of a challenge to watch out for the near enemy than to see the distant one. I can see that that's an enemy over there, but if they're sort of in camp, they can be a problem.
Interesting.
Has anyone practiced metta as a meditation?
Not regularly.
You did some with Ajahn Brahm?
Yeah.
It
was very powerful.
Yeah, very powerful as a group of people practicing metta meditation together. Sort of the feeling, the energy can be quite palpable. And also that the metta, all of the 4 spiritual emotions, Brahma Vihara, are important, particularly in Buddhism and the Buddha's teachings in practice, to appreciate that the practice is not just developing strength of mind, focused mind, or insight. It's also developing the heart as well. The heart of the feeling heart is important for practice, because we don't live in isolation. We may want to go on retreat and practice meditation and be alone and not connect with others, but we do connect and relate and be with others. And so it's really important to have these qualities, and these qualities help to bring a sense of sweetness and lightness and brightness to ourselves and to the practice. So it's not just cold concentration or cold, dry Vipassana insight, there's a heartfulness that's there. And certainly in the context of Vipassana practice, it's often mentioned that it's important to balance that with metta meditation. Often the Vipassana teachers talk about metta meditation, Vipassana meditation as important to cultivate.
So what should that balance be, John? So would you think that...
Yeah, good question. It depends. Depends upon the individual. So in a way, the metta is like a heartfulness, a healingfulness. Particularly, it's prescribed as a practice for people that may find it difficult to develop the samatha samadhi jhana meditation or the vipassana meditation. So the metta can be something that they can still develop degrees of calm and insight through, but it's a more warming, heartful way of doing so. And particularly the actual meditations do involve a degree of thought, thinking, bringing to mind, remembering, imagining, feeling. And so they can be a little bit more mentally creative. And also it's recommended for people that are a bit sort of anxious or a bit sort of angry, to sort of help to calm and cool the unsettled heart with the balm of metta meditation. So it does depend upon the individual as to how much metta they will do in comparison with the calm or insight meditation.
Okay.
Any other thoughts, comments, questions? How did it feel to be chanting that discourse?
It is very beautiful. I just said the other day, I did many years of Tibetan Buddhism meditation, and so we were chanting a lot in Tibetan, and it just has such a different quality. I must say, this is so grounding.
Okay, good.
And nurturing. So thank you very much.
Good. Well, certainly we can chant it again. Obviously, the more we practice chanting together, the better our harmonizing will come. So I remember being when I was in a monastery, I really enjoyed chanting, and both in the Pali language and also in English. When I was living in Thailand, we mainly chanted in the Pali language, and sometimes with translation into Thai as well, especially chanting with the Thai people, so they then knew what the words were meaning. But when I was a Buddhist monk in Australia, in Wat Buddha Dharma to begin with, then in Sydney, and then in England, and also in Switzerland, chanting the translation in English, both helps to learn what it means, what the chanting means, but also it's a nice sounding as well, and with that sort of harmonizing of everyone together. It's not singing, it's more of just a little bit different than sort of a chanting. So something that we can do maybe a bit more of down the track. If you've got your phones and you want to take a photograph of the words, do so. But otherwise, you can find it online. You can even find this whole chanting book online. The Wat Buddha Dharma website will have it. Also, the websites of the other monasteries will have a chanting book. Ajahn Brahm's monastery, which is bswa.org. They've got a chanting book which you can download, or the Amravati Monastery in England have a chanting book. Good. Bob?
I find, as people realise, I've only just come back, but I wondered whether with the general meditation, you could finish off with in the end of the meditation with, say, metta.
Yes, yeah.
And then when we do the compassion, then with that one. Just sort of focus on that particular topic.
That's a good idea. Certainly, at times when I've been even doing courses, we'd finish off like that. So do the mindfulness and breath meditation and finish with the last few minutes of developing some warmth and kindness and care towards self and others. Maybe even next week, we might even do where we look into karuna, compassion, but we may also maybe do a meditation on metta and karuna together. Good. Well, thank you for coming out this evening in this cooler and wet weather. So go with kindness, loving kindness towards self and others, and have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you.